Hey, what's good with the YouTube, man? It's your boy Rojo, Convict's Perspective, man. Hope you guys are doing good today, Thursday, February 10th. And hope everything's going your way, man. Got the Super Bowl this weekend, something to look forward to. I'm ready. I say the Rams are going to win. We'll see. This article, man, this talks about the Monterey County Jail and how just because you're incarcerated in a county jail or whatnot, you think, yeah, I might get a DA referral for this, I might get whatever for that. Man, the feds can come down on you for actions in the county jail too, just like anywhere else, man. When your group or you as an individual are on their radar, they're coming. Keep in mind, they're watching, man, they're waiting, they're listening, always. If you're in that lifestyle, assume that they are on you, straight up. Word from the wise, from experience, solid advice. Be careful. Just don't do that shit. Don't worry about it. Today's positive message. Brought it out earlier. This article is from the California. The title is Men Punished Monterey County Jail Inmates for Not Following the Nuestra Familia Gang Rules. Two Nortenos admitted to trying to kill fellow gang members at the Monterey County Jail for egregious violations of Nuestra Familia rules, federal prosecutors say. Michael James Redwood Rice, 35, and Danny Alberto Doughboy Moreno, 26, pled guilty Tuesday to racketeering conspiracy for their roles as associates of Norteno leadership, Nuestra Familia, according to a press release from the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Northern District of California. In it, prosecutors say both men admitted to selling drugs to inmates at the jail, as well as their roles in removals. Yeah, just for removals and selling a little bit of stuff. Those are violent attacks, removals. Those are violent attacks designed to kick a Norteno member or associate out of the gang and its jail housing unit for not following the rules of the Nuestra Familia, which oversees Norteno activity, prosecutors say. In their plea deals, Rice and Moreno acknowledged the attack's ultimate goal is killing the victims. Why would you acknowledge that, man? Crazy. Rice admitted to signing off on two such attacks, while Moreno admitted to participating in a removal, prosecutors said in the September 28th indictment. Their actions took place between December 2nd of 2012 and April 14th of 2014. Oh, they didn't come after these guys for a while. I'm telling you guys, be careful. In the indictment, prosecutors laid out the complex hierarchy involving incarcerated Nortenos and the prison gang Nuestra Familia, which serves as the leadership of the Nortenos. One of the hotbeds for such activity is the Monterey County Jail, according to the grand jury indictment. Nortenos receive instructions on the rules they must follow while in gang housing at the jail as part of a procedure for new arrivals. Minor violations can be punished with additional exercise, writing an essay, or paying a monetary fine, according to the grand jury indictment. More serious transgressions can mean a beatdown, prosecutors said. But Nortenos are also trained on the removals of fellow Nortenos who seriously violate those rules, such as by cooperating with authorities, committing crimes of a deviant nature, trying to drop out, or committing an unsanctioned attack on another Norteno, prosecutor said. That training includes making weapons with available materials and an anatomy chart, prosecutor said. The anatomy chart specified the best points on the body where someone should be stabbed in order to maximize the chances of killing a victim. They're also taught how to dispose of the weapons which fit into the removal strategy, prosecutor said. Essentially, one person acts as a hitter who stabs the target repeatedly. Then a second group, known as bombers, rush in and begin pummeling the target with their hands and feet. The bombers seek to worsen the stab wounds by opening them up. They also distract the guards while the hitter flushes the weapon down the toilet and changes out of his likely bloody clothes, prosecutors said. New inmates who aren't affiliated with the gang, yet still assigned to the gang housing unit, however, are offered a chance to contact the guards and ask for a transfer. prosecutor said. That's not going to fly. Removals are for gang members to send a clear message. They're out of the gang and need to leave the gang housing unit, prosecutor said. The Nortenos jail leadership is comprised of several members, each known as an overall authority, OA, who oversees individual housing units. They report to an authority in charge, AIC, of the gang throughout the jail. They are involved in almost all removal decisions according to the indictment. R.I.C.O, serving as the overall authority for one of the housing sections, signed off on 2 removals in 2013, prosecutor said. On February 25th of 2013, R.I.C.O okayed an attack on an inmate identified only as victim 2 because he'd allegedly been in protective custody housing before, according to the indictment. 2 other defendants, Johnny Soldier Boy Magdaleno and Alberto Littles Cervantes, gave the victim marijuana to get him high and thus facilitate the attack on him, prosecutor said. Magdaleno then stabbed him in the head and face using a shank fashioned from an electrical outlet plate, according to the indictment. Then 3 bombers began kicking him in the face, head, and stomach while Magdaleno got rid of the weapon. Magdaleno then returned and started attacking the victim as well, prosecutor said. 2 months later, R.I.C.O approved another removal in the same housing unit, and Moreno participated in the attack, prosecutors say. Known only as victim 3, was housed in another housing unit, but Magdaleno told him if he would not be harmed if he returned to the Norteño wing, known as K-Pod. But it was a ruse. Magdaleno was secretly luring the victim back because he'd allegedly dropped out of the Norteño gang and had been in protective custody, prosecutors said. The victim returned to K-Pod and was put through the normal procedure for new arrivals to make sure they're in good standings with the gang. The victim seemed to clear that process, but gang leadership had ordered the removal to be conducted with 2 hitters, so victim 3 would leave in a body bag, prosecutors said. But the plans changed because the second shank wasn't readily available, prosecutors said. Instead, on April 29th of 2013, defendant Carlos Cervantes, aka Little Wedo, and Doug stabbed and slashed the victim's head, hands, arms, and wrist. Moreno and 2 others acted as the bombers, kicking and punching the victim as he lay on the ground. When they stopped, R.I.C.O told them to continue attacking the victim. Both victims did survive, prosecutors said. Crazy. The grand jury indictment lists 5 other such attacks, ranging in victims from a gang member being in custody on a we'll call it an R charge, to another using some methamphetamine meant for sale to other inmates to profit the Norteños, prosecutors said. R.I.C.O and Moreno also admitted to helping distribute drugs to other jail inmates, according to the press release. In the indictment, prosecutors described how the gang brought drugs inside the system by using anal cavities to smuggle them in. Then the drugs would be sold to non-gang members. R.I.C.O is also the brother of Tammy Huntsman, who pleaded out to charges she tortured 3 children, killing 2 of them alongside her then 17-year-old boyfriend, Gonzalo Curriel. Both were sentenced to life without the possibility of parole next year. See, I don't know why they bother saying that. That has nothing necessarily to do with him. That's just to continue making him look bad. Dude. That's kind of messed up right there. The attorneys for R.I.C.O and Moreno did not respond to emails seeking comment Wednesday. The Monterey County Sheriff's Office said Wednesday afternoon it appreciated the help of the FBI and other federal agencies in helping investigate and prosecute criminal activity in Monterey County Jail in response to a request for comment. Prosecutors said R.I.C.O and Moreno acknowledged that murder was the goal of the conspiracy. R.I.C.O will receive 13 years, while Moreno will serve 7 under the plea deals. Their sentencing is scheduled for January 7th, and there are additional 13 defendants, including, in January 2015, one of the men also identified by prosecutors in the indictment is Vincent Gerald Gente Garcia. Received 35 years to life in prison for his role as a nuestra familia leader for 2 prior strikes for attempted murder and burglary. He was among 47 people arrested during Operation Snake Eyes in May of 2013. Magdaleno, 27, also referenced in the federal indictment, was Garcia's right-hand man, according to the Monterey County District Attorney's Office. Eric Bimbo Lopez, 24, faced additional federal charges of conspiracy to commit murder in the aid of racketeering, conspiracy to commit assault with a dangerous weapon in aid of racketeering, and being a felon in possession of a firearm and ammunition. George also was reported as kidnapped from his Soledad home last year. I'm going to read that again. George Hassel was reported as kidnapped from his Soledad home last year. Hassel was additionally charged with conspiracy to commit murder in aid of racketeering and conspiracy to commit assault with a dangerous weapon in aid of racketeering. A spokesman for the U.S. Attorney's Office says the defendants' cases are still pending. The Monterey County Jail in the city of Salinas is considered by nuestra familia as one of the main training grounds for new NF members, according to the grand jury indictment. This is due to the high population of Norteno street gang members and northern structure members within the jail population. Because of the importance that nuestra familia places on Monterey County and Salinas in particular, Monterey County is a stronghold, a home base for the gang. Prosecutor said the FBI investigated the case with help from Salinas PD, Monterey Sheriff, Highway Patrol, and CDC. Man, that's crazy, man. You would think that you would be kind of safe from federal involvement while in the jail. You would think that that would be more, a street type of thing because, you're already in their jail. Why wouldn't they just take care of it, man? It's because of the power that the federal government has, the unlimited resources and money and stuff. You get to messing with them feds, it changes, man. Things that you might get 10 years for in the state, you'll get, extra in the feds, plus you got to bring 85%. Plus they're sending you far away from the house, making it harder to facilitate things on the streets. There's a strategy to what they do and who they do it to. A lot of times gang members, city, county, state, will only be charged at the state level. Whereas, the same crimes might be happening in a different city and they get hit with the federal indictment. I mean, they have a way they do it. Do I necessarily know it? No, but I would guess, it's because they're focused on certain individuals and their propensity to be more of a problem on the streets, within the jail system and the prisons. And, they're going to go after those who have higher status, whether or not you're just a regular northerner, NF, and so none of that really matters. They're going to come at you like you're the worst of the worst and hit you federally. There's no way to determine if it's going to be you or if it's going to be some dudes in another city at that time, a different gang that's doing the exact same things. And that's the weird part of justice, man, where okay, say me and you never been in trouble. I rob a bank, you rob a bank. But because they think I might be affiliated with such and such or whatnot, this and that, the feds might pick up mine and I get 20 years in the feds at 85%. You might get 8 years in state. There's no telling what they're going to do, man. So, the moral of the story is anything to do with NF, HEMIC, AB, they're going to prosecute it hard. It's just because they know these groups throughout the years have stacked up counts of bodies. And they deem them way more dangerous of a threat than they would a street gang. It's just because they know that specific orders could come out of prison from certain individuals that changes everything in all those cities. There could be declarations that come out that expect northerners or southerners to do certain things, and that can lead to massive ramifications for a long, long time, man, because they know these individuals they yield a lot of power. So they're always watching, man. Once you're in a gang, especially if you're like from Salinas or San Jose or Stockton or Modesto, all these places with a lot of NF influence, a lot of Daniel gangs, the same thing with down south, man. Certain neighborhoods, man. places they know that is controlled by big homies, they're watching everything you do. They're seeing who you write to. They're seeing who you have visits with on the tablets. They're watching everything. And then they're watching it again. Just remember that. That's all I'm saying. Do what you do by all means. However, at the end of the day, it's going to lead to problems. And it might not even be because of something you did. It might be something from the big homies did. It might be something from dudes in your hood did. You might just be out there hustling. You're not even really about that gangbang. You're just about getting your bread. And you could get hit up on a federal indictment. I read this thing earlier about a female that was associated with the big homie from down south. You know what I mean? And she carried a lot of weight. And she ordered carjacking. She ordered a removal. And when it didn't go her way, she went higher and got that person. So the next time they did a removal, it was like a real removal, like bye-bye removal. You got to be careful. They are always watching you. The lifestyle comes with consequences. You're not going to retire and live happily ever after. It just doesn't happen in gang life. And you can ask any one of these prison genre channels if I'm lying to you, and none of them will honestly be able to tell you that I'm not. That's just straight up. Anyway, that was just a little something about how hot it is in Salinas and the Monterey County Jail, and how the feds are always watching, man, no matter where you are, when you become involved with the big boys. Hope that sinks into your head. It's your boy Rojo, Convict's Perspective. Holler at you guys later, man. Have a great day.